Hi, good morning. Oh, time to breathe again. Yes. Oh, it's so important to breathe. So important to breathe. Okay, I just did a lecture on COVID-19 that moves in on people who don't breathe. So, how do we breathe? How do we start? We stretch in the morning. That's that pulling those ribs off of pulling our ribs up and out, and that is like a suction, a vacuum suction that pulls oxygen. Oh, and then it takes 2 or 3 seconds. Oh my gosh, for oxygen to. Oh, oh, we get that at night too. That is an oxygenated breath. It's a stretch. Sometimes I don't know. It's kind of a good hurt, good feeling. The brain has no feeling. It gets it all through the body. The body pulls in that oxygen for us, fuels those mitochondria that generate nuclear level fuel that keeps us going while we're awake. The visual system during the day, natural sunlight doesn't take any energy to see. So we can sit and watch and watch and watch and watch, and we don't have to breathe. Meanwhile, while we're not breathing, things are being shut down, closed down, killed off, rewired. And the more we sit and watch that TV, the more we cannot do other things. And if you do that for a lifetime, those networks are gone. We don't want that. We don't want that for us. We don't want that for our children. So we're going to breathe with a long neck, loose neck. That's where the involuntary breath is when we're sleeping. It's not going anywhere, but it's certainly not locked, hopefully, unless you're stressed, post-traumatic, and there are more problems. So yes, we can breathe involuntarily when we're awake, but that is so shortchanging. It's like parking a car on a hill and waiting for the earth to tilt for it to go somewhere. No. We need to fuel the system. And when we engage, laugh, ha, 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 breathe in, oh man, feel something for someone. We breathe and we interact with the environment, with our community through breath, and our body, hundreds of muscles surround these lungs. So, and I keep telling you, we used to be on all fours. We have evolved from all fours. Hopefully this COVID-19 won't take us back to all fours, because it is a de-evolution type virus. We want to beat it, but we can use that muscular design. You know how shingles go down when we're bending over? That's straight up and down, isn't it? So we used to be on all fours, and there's a lot of breath in the back. Say we have 2.5 cups of breath. The other day I did it with 2 cups. 2 cups of breath with oxygen in it. And that's up to about 1.5 cups. And look, I'm not stressed. So you want to do it. You don't want to be stressed. You don't want your voice to go, That happens later before we sing. And then we put our arms up. That's about 2/3 or 3/4 of a cup, or 2/3, let's say. So we've got a little bit left, right? Not too much. This is our evolved breath up here in our sternum. This is where we cough out the virus. Not a lot of breath up here, unless you sing. La, 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 I made that tune up. I have fueled creative networks. I've been making up more and more songs. I'm making up words a lot with my good friend Patricia Yee. We're both she's an English major and I'm a linguist. And don't be an oxymoron, a hypoxymoron. The oxymoron is that, we do have an involuntary breath. The moron part is that we rely on it. And the result is hypoxia. And even though it's an oxymoron that we can survive barely if we barely breathe, doesn't make it right. So don't be a hypoxymoron. Even if you're a happy hypoxic, you're still a hypoxymoron, because it's an oxymoron that we can evolve and really truly thrive on a low oxygen system. No, we can't. So what are other ways to, we've talked about the mechanical breath, the back, arms, sternum, the singing breath, the counter breath. We have to and hold, to, ton, 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 to, wait a second, do it again. That's a counted breath, and it takes 2-3 seconds for oxygen to diffuse through the capillaries into the alveoli and get into the bloodstream. And the bloodstream loves to get it all, loves all or nothing system. Load me up or I'll pass on by. That's how the red blood cells work, because it works with us to build and shape pathways according to our environment, our needs, our responses, our experience of life. Let's experience life and use breath to do that. So there's counter breath, there's cognitive breath, in with hope. Dr. Fauci and Dr. Collins talked a lot about hope yesterday. People want hope when this virus, and my stuff is it's a little real, but there's a lot of hope in it. We talked about I'm glad those little things are hard to see sometimes. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I have to do this. I'm sorry. That's a very important phone call. It's 10 minutes early. So we need hope, right? So the olfactory and hope. Oh my goodness. That's a double winner, huh? So we're combining what we're smelling with what we are wishing for, but have no control over, right? Another one is the transcendental breath, which is kind of like a nondescript word. It's just, for a higher sense of transcendence. We want to transcend, and oxygen will enable that. The vestibular, the instincts, the sensory, the auditory, the gravitational, the limbic, the insular, our personalities. We fuel nothing, and we just happen from the oxygen process, from the oxygen fueling. Excellent. Excellent. How nice is that? And I look forward to talking with Tina, who is going to, hopefully we can start funding these wonderful PROoxia sessions and continue to look at COVID and continue to build community films, because it all happens under an oxygenated, PROoxia, ultroxic, optoxia. I love that word. So I continue to make words. And don't be a happy hypoxic, and don't be a hypoxymoron. Don't be fooled to think that involuntary breath will really let you evolve, because it won't. We are oxygenated biological beings. For millions of years, we've been doing it. Industry has kind of flipped it, but from knowledge, we can overcome that and ride over it and use the tools of modern society to help us evolve, and not be just drawn into them and get robotic, as we know is happening. So great. So the transcendental. So I love, one of my sayings in there is this pure, perfect providence. And when you're singing, you can go beyond the words. You can have an imagination on those words. Pure, perfect providence. Those words had so much meaning as I was extending them out. My cognitive arena was really going. That's how I sing as a singer. Let me try that again. I've said these words hundreds of times, but they take on a transcendental meaning. That means that, my mind can go anywhere on those words. Let's try it. pure, perfect providence. And there's free simulation. In transcendental meditation, we close our eyes. I've never trained in it, but I've been participating in it. It's free on the phone lines every morning. Look at tmmeditate.org and come on in. So that settles the physiology. And we have a body that is reactive in so many ways. And we are designed to be 90% parasympathetic, which is the relaxation, but functional. That is flow. That is growth. And we have about 10% that is sympathetic, that we have to push and get cardiovascular. We have to run and chase and get that food. We have to climb up that tree to get that coconut. And if it falls on our head, whoa, we have to learn the lesson from, walking under coconut trees when the wind's blowing. I don't know. But, we're slowly putting it together through sympathetic, which is we reactive, and that's amygdalaic. But then we repair from that, we learn, we build new networks. It's all a good thing. And so that transcendental meditation, what I wanted to talk to today, we talked about stock loading breath, we talked about the oxygen gradient, and we can talk about building. So there's an outflow of the transcendental meditation. We need to get rid of that carbon dioxide too. Short inhale. I get rid of my ego, put forgiveness out to everyone, acceptance, gratitude, right? So you can do several waves of carbon dioxide, of out breath, rather than in and out. That gets into your shoulders. And when you're doing the transcendental part, stay with pure, perfect, pristine providence. I close my eyes, I'm thinking it. And that oxygen is not being conflicted with the visual system. And I do a short out breath and build on that. Just keep tanking up with the oxygen, pure. And the cognitive is pristine, perfect. George Washington's favorite word, providence. And I let my system build on those words, that cognition, those vague goals. We have specific meanings for those words, but when you stretch them out, pure almost becomes, ooh, is there also a frequency area that we're used to putting it in? Pure providence. You see, there are areas of frequency that stimulate. Okay, and that, my friends, is a breathing lesson. We went on a bit today, but hey, it's worth the time. Have a great day. Be well.